Good afternoon to you. My name's Cash Christopher, and I am a Fire Chief Emergency Manager here in Southern Nevada. And I would like to say hello to the fine folks at the Irvine Valley College, Writing 301, Writing 2, Class 301. I guess that's what it is. I do have a list of questions from you, and I will do my best to answer it. For starters, have I ever read Fahrenheit 451? No, but I do know the gist of the book, which is actually fitting book, and it's about burning books and keeping free ideas and thoughts to just a minimum. So I do know the premise of the book. The first question I have is, what would you think if the government forbade people to own books or have access to books, and moreover a fireman's job were to burn books instead of putting out fires or saving lives? Wow, that's a that's a lot of question right there. There's actually governments that do burn books. I've been in the Middle East for a lot of years, and they do burn books there because it does. Some of those books go against what their beliefs are as a government. For example, in some of the Middle Eastern countries like Iraq, they would burn books there that were Christian in nature. And this is before they had freedom shoved down their throat. And you also look at it, it happened with Nazi Germany. They burned books all the time. And if I'm not mistaken, if you watch Shawshank Redemption, the warden wanted to have a book burning barbecue for Andy Dufresne, but that's another story for another time. The second part of the question, instead of a firefighter saving lives and their job was to burn books, well, that's a tough question, because you're always going to need to save lives. You're going to need somebody to do that. And by golly, if they burn a book and it gets out of control, then what do they do? So that's the only answer I have for that question, Valeria. Let's see. If you had to memorize a book and risk of extinction, what book would you choose? A lot of stuff from Mark Twain would be nice. There's some books, Where the Red Fern Grows. That's a book I read as a kid. Unfortunately, I don't read that many books anymore because I just never really have. But when I was a kid, I did. And unfortunately, I know that that's the trend now, but, that's one regret I have, but it's still not too late to start. How do you imagine a future without access to books and novels of any kind? It's kind of funny now, because I always say that good songwriting is dead. And you can also say, some people even say that some of the best books haven't been written in a long time because of where we've gone as a society. So maybe that future's happening now. I don't know. And the final one is, what is your concept of a functional family, and are you a happy family man? I am very happy in my family. I got a wife that I just flat out adore. I got children I just love. Two from my self, and one with my wife, my stepdaughter, and I love them all very much. They pick me up in times when I need it, and I do the same for them. What's your definition of a functional man? If you asked this question 50, 60 years ago, man go to work, man come home, wife have food and beer, and wife give birth. That's what it was like 50, 60 years ago, and that's just not the case anymore. Nowadays, you have families, the wife and the husband work to provide for the family. And whatever your definition of a functional family is, well, that's your business. That's how you think of it. If you ask me and my wife, well, our functional family has been this. I was a firefighter. I would go to work for 24 hours, and I was gone, and I came home for 24 hours. That was great. And every 2 weeks, I got 3 weeks off, or I got 3 days off. And anything more than 3 days, I would drive my wife crazy. So it's your definition of a functional person, or functional family. Anyway, I wish you guys the best of luck, and thanks for letting me participate.